Oh yeah!
Welcome to everyone watching. I know this may be a heavily clicked video because the biggest sources of subscribers here on the channel for me so far have been from the It Begins Again video talking about the return of Bray Wyatt's brother Bo Dallas and how I believe he's coming back soon, and involved with that YouTube channel and the conspiracy videos I've done on the deaths of Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit. So this encompasses both of those heavily, which should mean this becomes a heavily viewed video for the channel. I'm at least hoping so, because all of these coincidences, although I feel there is no such thing as a coincidence, are pretty damning as far as dates and numerology goes. And if you know much about those high-ranking types of people in the world and the things they believe in and practice to their advantages, well, then it's very damning, because they love the stuff. In fact, they live by symbology and things like dates and numerology. I'm going to be honest with you. Bray is not one of these sacrifices that I know too much about, or at least that I did before I started working on this video. At least not like I did Owen, Eddie, and Chris, because those happened when I was a kid or very young adult, and I was just hooked into wrestling. I mean, those happened during the hottest times of the business, right? And my mind has had a lot of time, to think about them and doubt those deaths and the stories about those deaths that are being told. Discuss them with other people and read opinions and inconsistencies with official stories, yada, yada, yada. But this is super fresh. Bray just died a mere months ago, and with how fast time is passing these days, it still kind of almost feels like yesterday that we lost him. But a lot of people online are questioning his death. My viewers have even mentioned his death in my videos, so I know it's a topic that people are hungry for content on. And again, I think the subs from that Bo video would be highly interested in this as well. Before I start, like I always say, these kind of videos are for entertainment purposes only. Don't take anything I say literally, okay? Do your own due diligence, research things, use your critical thinking. I'm just throwing these ideas, these theories out there. Take with you what resonates, and what doesn't, hey, that's cool too. Leave it on the table. Also, everything said is allegedly. I'm also not trying to disrespect the deceased. In fact, it's the complete opposite. I feel nobody has the real truth in what happened with these guys. So I feel I'm honoring them on trying to get down to the real truth. Okay, with that out of the way, let's dig into why I think, just like Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit before him, Bray Wyatt was another entertainment industry sacrifice. But I think Bray saw his coming, unlike the others, or at least unlike Owen Hart for sure. Why do I think he knew? Well, just go watch when the Undertaker whispered in his ear at the Raw, I believe it was 30th anniversary show earlier in the year. And Bray's genuinely chilling looking response. Now I know the official story Undertaker gives on what he said in interviews he's had or whatever. I'm saying I just don't believe it. That looks like a man who has just been informed his time is up when Taker whispers in his ear. As messengers can be seen throughout history in the entertainment industry delivering the bad news. And I hate to keep bringing up my Owen and the Chris and Eddie video. It all just kind of ties together, because you can see through history if you go back and watch those and what I talked about. The WWE loves using Undertaker in their symbology and predictive programming, etc. I mean, he's perfect for the role. He's the Undertaker. I wonder if Mark Calloway took that role knowing he was going to be the hand of so much actual death around him, at least symbolically, in the industry. Guys you would imagine he was friends with and held near and dear. Guys he had fond memories of and with. I don't know. Let's get into the numbers I was talking about and Bray. And this is really just a collection of notes I wrote while researching the whole situation. And then I arranged them the best I could, okay? Start with this. Bray's real name, Lawrence Rotunda Windham. Windham in gematria is 36. He died at 36 years old. Gematria used very much so among the elites. And you can do your research on gematria. I'm not the gematria whiz and the person to ask. But he also died on Vince McMahon's 78th birthday. Interesting that his best friend, Luke Harper, also died 78 days after Tony Khan, his boss's birthday. So Bray dies on Vince's 78th birthday. Luke died 78 days after Tony Khan's birthday. Weird. Owen Hart was murdered months before WWF went public and McMahon became a millionaire. Bray Wyatt was murdered months before Vince was able to finalize his TKO merger. Bray apparently died by a heart attack. Notice Eddie did as well, and exactly what I mentioned about all of the celebrity deaths by heart attack. Again, going back to the video on him and Chris. What makes this death in particular, and even more interesting, is in gematria. Once again, we have the words heart attack together, equaling 36. Just like his last name, Windham, 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. And not only did he die on VKM's birthday, also died 936 days from the day Vince was born. See, numbers and symbolism keep adding up here, right? If you look towards the meaning of the number 9, it represents completion, but not finality. It's a critical sector. It's about the ending of one cycle and the potential it creates for another cycle to begin. In numerology, the 9 acts to usher in this process of transition or transformation. It absorbs from a spiritual source and then delivers to us in the real physical world. I would definitely call that merger with Endeavor and the creation of TKO a new cycle in business for the WWE, wouldn't you? Now, this may not ever amount to anything, but worth for any of us watching here to keep an eye on is 9 months exactly from Brays Death will be May 23rd, 2024. So take note of any significant events happening around that date in the industry, and also keep an eye out for his brother's return, which, as I said, I still think is coming. I think the It Begins Again channel is deeply connected and has been to the Rotundas. Also, maybe some kind of news with a television deal for Raw. I don't know. Just throwing things out there. The numerology gets really deep here. Too deep for me as a beginner in this and gematria. And Triple H is deeply connected and has tons of symbolic numerology tied in with all of this that leaves him looking, I'm going to be honest with you, not the best. If you want a deeper dive in all of that, it's out there. I'm just not your guy for that. Or at least not yet. But the bottom line is, you're probably wondering what my cold hard take on Bray Wyatt is. Obviously, it's another suspicious pro wrestling death in a long line of them, going back decades. You can agree with the narrative all that you like, and that's your prerogative. But at the moment, with what we have to work on, and with this is my feelings on the Bray Wyatt death. Although I'm sure there's plenty more to surface, and soon.